always get a welcome. Isn't it great to be back? And folks, today they were doing a special offer for our programmes, because the programmes is the very lifeblood of this very, very special event. We maybe sometimes take it for granted here from home in Northern Ireland, and yet as Brian said, with people here the whole way from Ballymena. Anybody in from Ballymena? Is there any children in the hall? Are the police about? I can tell you good about Ballymena. I was asked one night to describe Ballymena. Now, shh, don't have. I said Ballymena. Ballymena's full of hooers and rugby players. This place says, how dare you say that, Mr. Logan? My wife's from Ballymena. I said, what position does she play? Anyway, folks, we're all delighted to be back with the International Northwest 200, the Phonacab Nichols. So what I want you to do, we're going to bring on an array of talent here, as we always do. And I want you to give them, as Brian says, a fabulous welcome. Before I do that, actually, show your appreciation to Brian, who's been filling out, because some of the lads were coming from the paddock and the grid, did a wee bit of work to do. There you are, he's always there to help us out. And I was asking a question before I came in. Is anybody in? Is there people in from Scotland? Cheers, man. I can see you're glad to be here, kid, fair play. Anyway, anybody in from Wales? Anybody from England? Welcome back to the mainland. Alright. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome one of the most favourite men that we have in the International Northwest 200, 8 times winner, double winner of this fabulous international event. Please welcome the one and only Steve Plater. We're just trying to be careful here. Obviously, COVID's still knocking about a wee bit, so would they be very... Here, it's good to see you, kid.
Hey, it's good to be here.
Honest to God, I haven't seen you since that cream bun 20 minutes ago.
Do you know what? We've been away for what, 2 years, 3 years since the Northwest 200. It's probably been, I've been becoming, for me, I think my first visit was 1993 before I started racing. Then I've been coming back racing and various things ever since. And of course, for the last few years, helping out with the organisation, or with the organisers, should I say. But this has probably been the most memorable year I've ever had on the North Coast. Mainly because I've been sharing a house this year with this thing. I'm not kidding you, you've never smelt anything or heard noises like it in the room next door.
I hope somebody recorded that, my solicitors in the audience. I'll get that sorted out. He's been away for 3 years and he's still the most miserable. Doesn't matter anyway, but there you go. Hey, it's an absolute pleasure, ladies and gentlemen. This is a man who has given back to the sport as well. Look, last night we had difficult racing conditions. There was difficult decisions had to be made. You're involved in those decisions. It's never easy.
Hey, it's never easy, you know. We've come through practice with no serious problems, and of course 3 races last night. Was kicked off with the first race, wet conditions, and actually good conditions or should I say good visibility in those conditions. So the decision was made by the clerk of the course to get running, and you know, some cracking races, super sport and the super stock. But towards the end of the super stock race, was kind of looking at the light coming down and looking over at Donegal and a load of rain and cloud coming, and the decision was made really to bank a really good night's racing, you know, entertaining people of course in those conditions, and save that race hopefully to be run in sunshine tomorrow and keep everybody safe and sweet. So
yeah, let's all hope for the decent weather, I suppose. And Seeley at the double, whenever he got the first result, anybody who was there, he was very emotional, a lot of tears. It was as if he was maybe, dare I say, forgotten about, and he came back and got the result. It was very, very important to him.
Yeah, well, I suppose really he's doing everything perfectly this year. The only thing that hasn't been perfect is his nationality. You know, no, he's doing a great job, obviously, you know, as Sterling champion around the course, and you know, as Logie says, he's riding really well in the Ulster Championship and doing great things. And I think it was as much a sigh of relief for Alastair last night to bag those 2 wins, and fair play to him. There's probably more to come yet. We'll have to wait and see, hopefully, in the sunshine tomorrow. That's the plan.
Right, sorry, I was just a wee bit distracted there, seeing what it is, because they tell me the third prize on page 3 still is to be collected. 2 paddock passes. Somebody has it out there in the programme. Check your programme, somebody has to get that. And just when I'm standing here too, where do you see this here? This is young Rob, BBC cameraman. Come on out, Rob, and say hello. Don't be shy, because the BBC are giving us fantastic coverage, which has been absolutely superb. So the bottom line is he would like... No, hang on. He would like the money shot for BBC Northern Ireland for later on, for maybe in the highlights programme. So after 3, why don't we give him the money shot and get your hands in the air here at the International North Wales 200? Would you like that, Rob?
Yes, I love that.
Tell you what, look at that. Hey, the cameramen are good looking on BBC, aren't they? I can tell you that. Right here. 1, 2, 3. Ah, louder than that. Come on, this is the tour of the world. This is fantastic. 1, 2, 3. You get that, Rob? Fair play to you. For a change, it might be in focus. You never know. Hey, Steve's going to stay with me because I need a wee bit of help. I am now going to introduce a newcomer. Roaring cheer and stuff, but he deserves a massive, massive welcome here at the International Northwest 200. I hope I get your name pronounced correctly, sir. Please don't throw me off the stage if I don't. It's Oliver Lupberger from Switzerland. Come on! Oh, good lad, sir. How are you? Come on out front. Come on out front. Newcomer at the Northwest?
The first time, yes.
That's what I said. Newcomer. Like, what do you do? Like, are you doing your best? You're like, come on out here front. Your English is not so good. You want to be living with him. I can't understand a word he fucking said. No harm to you guys. So, what made you come to the Northwest?
Huh?
Jeez, like, honest to God, I could have been a brain surgeon. Why did you come?
Let me jump in. Yeah. Why did you come to the Northwest 200? Why? See? How easy is that?
I like the water better. Right, it's right.
Well, that was great. Thanks very much. I'm not really sure what was going on there, but fair play anyway. Come here. Hey, are you gonna go out tomorrow?
I come for the racing car, yes. Sure.
Are you good?
Yes. Nice.
I tell you what, kid, you do well over here. Hey, you do well over here. Tell them nothing. Not right. I say nothing. Keep it all to yourself, kid. Hey, but what do you tell you what? This is the thing. We think we're very special. We like the Northwest 200. Do you enjoy it? Do you like the people? Are fantastic.
Yeah, the people is fantastic. I like.
Hey.
Logie, we've got an interpreter.
Hang on a second. Look, I have another gig in November. Any chances? Oh, look, Jesus, it goes from bad to worse. Come on over here. Come over here, gorgeous. Look at this here. Hey, all right. And you are?
I'm not you. Because I speak English, yeah, you know.
You know what that cheeky bollock said to me? He says, Logie, the government should give more money to the event, then you could learn how to speak English. Horst, we had you. Steve had you. No, come on, don't be shy of it. Steve had you on the stage for a chat show. And he said he was worried about you at Hickman. He said that'll be dead handy, but he had you on, he was slightly worried about it. You blew him away completely.
I tell you, he doesn't understand the word I'm talking. Because I learned my English is from school. I know you don't know this word school, but I show you a picture of it. No, you know, with Hickey, he's such a massive big star, and I thought I'm a retired old rider who never won a race here. But at the end, I think all that counts is that you love the event, that you love racing, and that you love the people are all around here, and that makes this place so unique for me.
But you know what gets me about it? You say you never won a race. I have to say to you, and I'm sure the people will agree, you certainly won the hearts of the people, of all the fans, wouldn't you agree? Now, I was really touched. Steve, come on in here. I was really touched during the chat show. Steve talked to you about, you were doing documentaries about yourself and things like that, and how you would break down doing it because you're not able to do what you always wanted to do. And you're saying to people, enjoy life and enjoy what they can do at the moment.
Yeah, it's so hard to let it go. It's so hard not to race. This is first time in 25 years that I'm on a racetrack and not racing myself. It's almost like you watch your wife with the other guy. and you still like her. And you still...
Sorry, Horst, it's a family show. That's it. Oh my God, this place is getting worse.
That was a family thing. My wife is in the family.
Yeah, Manny, look, what I tell you, you just don't come yourself to this event. You bring a whole host of people, a whole host. Look, come out here, don't be shy. Come on, people want to see you. You bring a whole host of fans and people with you.
Yeah, we are 60 people here, and they are all big fans of the Northwest 200. Some of them are for the 5th time here with me. Some of them are new, and I bet they go home and tell all the others how fantastic it was. And next year will be 150.
Well, I hope so. And can you speak Swiss? Can you speak Swiss? Can you? Well, ask him a question there in Swiss. Give him that.
Yeah, the problem is we need somebody who asks him in English. Yeah?
You're one cheeky bollocks, that's all I can say. Hey, I love you to death, all the same. Now, come here. I look at the podium. Steve and I were talking about it actually last night. He was boring me to death, honest to God. I know everything about his 2 wins on the 8. He talks about nothing else. And then this win, Logan, honest to God, my head was straight. It's a very impressive lineup. It could be interesting to see who's going to come out on top tomorrow.
Wow, this time is so many, so good riders, and I have no clue. This belt, it's not only 2 riders who can win a race now, we have 6 or 8 riders on a very high level. I think it must be one of the best racing that ever happened here. So we're lucky to be here at this moment.
We're lucky, hopefully the conditions might improve. Last night was difficult.
Yeah, and I thought Alastair, he will just go. He will just go and all the others won't see him for the next 6 laps. But then we have new Davey Todd. He's so fast. It's crazy. And we have a couple of others who can also be very fast. And we will see tomorrow when the conditions change. Then we have 8 riders fighting for the win.
Horst, now your job over here has been with me, fortunately. Obviously I look after all the normal speaking people as newcomers for new guys to the Northwest 200 circuit. You've been over here looking after the European riders. How's it been going? And how easy has it been to give me your experiences on top of just watching, not riding? Thank you. Thank you very much.
Steve, you're meant to give him the mic. Doesn't matter. Go ahead, right ahead.
Yeah,
that's what
they turned me down. For a second. No, it's fantastic to have this job to look after the newcomers, because so I'm still involved in the racing thing and not just watching. And it's a good to give them the experience and everything. They are pretty brilliant, because they are not like I was, just switch off the brain. No, they think about what they are doing. So I learned something new. And yeah, it's always, when you come to a circuit like the Northwest 200, you have problems that you never had before in your life, because there is no other racetrack, 6 gear, flat out, going around the corner, and it's blind, station corner, or don't know. It takes so much, and the bike handles completely different than it does on a short circuit, because on a short circuit you brake for a corner, you will not stay on flat out full gas and going around the corner in 6th gear. And so it's good that I can help them here and there, and yeah, they have enough things to think about, but for sure it's good for them to have somebody and not to be alone with the question they have. And till now it was Steve, it should have been Steve, and yeah, thank you, Steve.
I'd like to thank Horst for that short answer. Anyway, Horst, I've been asked to give you this here wee present. Open it up and see what it is. There you are. That's a wee memento from the Northwest 200 for you. There you are. That's an old one, so there you go. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, show our appreciation to our newcomer Oliver, and of course the Horst, two of the stars of the show at tomorrow's International Northwest 200. Thank God. You can wait that road there, thank you. Right, ladies and gentlemen, next up. Look, he's keeping everybody held up as usual. Look at this here. Pretend he can sign autographs. Next thing there'll be photographs. Ladies and gentlemen, show your appreciation here in Coleraine, the town centre. Meet the riders, the one and only Davey Todd. Oh, come on, come on! Davey, very serious question, kid. What's it like to lose twice?
That's all. There's no need for that. Like, to be honest, there's 2 podiums. You gotta take the positives. I felt like
I was only joking.
I felt like I should have won the 600 race, but I had no chance in that stock race.
Well, I thought you were moving well on the track, and you were moving well last night in the disco too, just to let people know.
You can't talk about that.
Sorry, I didn't mean it. It doesn't matter. Look, conditions last night were difficult, and the first race we got was particularly a cracker. You must have thought you could have won that first one.
Yeah, to be fair, it was a really good battle with the guys, and somebody made the joke, to be fair. I come in, I'm sure the guys won't mind me saying it was like racing against your dad and your granddad. Seeley and Mcwilliams, but...
No, rub it in, keep it slapping in.
I was like, I don't know if that should hurt me, to be honest, that you know, Alastair managed to get the best of me, and Jezza nearly got me in the last lap. So just that pass at York corner there, he got me at York, and that put us out the chance of winning the race when I thought we probably got a good shot. But no, it was a good race with the guys anyway, a load of passing, and hopefully it was good to watch for you guys anyway. So
it was great to watch, and it was incredible actually. Every single rider that went out last night deserved unbelievable praise for last night for those conditions. To go out and turn into famous. I don't mean a pun, but if you whet the appetite, it'll whet the appetite for tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. Can't wait for some dry track time. Would be nice. But yeah, hopefully dry race. I think it'll be exciting. Every single class is close. It's going to be a hell of a race, to be honest. With like every class from Super Sport, Super Stock, Super Bike. Absolutely stacked grid full of riders. There's probably 15 riders who can win each of the races, and you know, who's your money on is a big question. So yeah, I can't wait for it anyway.
Well, Davey, speaking of grandad, there's an older man here has a question for you. Will you go there, young plotter, as you were described earlier this week?
Davey,
you've seen this old thing, you Steve Plotter was how he was described earlier. Go ahead. Go on.
That's your fault. Now, Davey, you know, you've been riding really well last year, this year, obviously been off the roads, but you've been spending a lot of time British Championship and sharpening your skills. I know you're really kind of quite serious on getting on the Superbike at British Championship as well. How much is that helping you to transfer over, especially for the North Coast?
Yeah, I think it's a real big help doing British Championship. Just really does sharpen you up for coming to the roads for the Northwest and the TT, but in the same breath, like you're saying, I'm not there just to get me sharpened up. I want to be there to win races and be competitive as well. So I think it is a big benefit that I'm racing for the Padgett's team at British Championship and have been testing British Championship. Coming in to the Northwest 200 is a big help to me, a big advantage. So I feel ready to go and really comfortable on all the bikes turning up here, which always starts you off on the right foot, doesn't it?
It's going to be a difficult question. If your money's not on your set, who would it be on tomorrow? I asked the same of Horst, and he said the lineup this year, particularly so many strong candidates who could go on this and become a big name tomorrow.
Hey, I honestly could not put my money on who's going to win it. Like, you'd never know around this place. It can really spring up some surprises. Qualifying was good for us. I think in most classes we're on Super Sport and Stock. We're on the front row. Superbike, we had a problem with the Superbike and we're on the second row, but it doesn't honestly matter around here. Second row, you could start 9th on the grid and come over the finish line the end of lap 1 in P1 because you can slipstream, and that really comes into play. I think there'd be a big group, and I think it'd be tough for anybody to break away from the pack, to be honest.
You know, I think last night proved really, I think over the last few years at the Northwest, a lot of people do treat this event as a bit of a testing ground as well, because it's the first road race, big road race of the year before the TT and so on, but it's nice to see a bit of hunger from people like yourself that want to get out there and win.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like you say, it is a testing ground. It does help you get the bike set up and get your eye in before going to the TT. But in the same breath, we're all here to win. We're not here to just ride around, like, you know. The conditions yesterday, through some sketchy scenarios, and a few people thought it best not to go out. But you know what? It's I'll still go out there in any conditions. If it's snowing, I'd probably still ride. So. You know, it's going to be better in the dry for sure. I think the race is going to be better, and yeah, everybody wants to win. As much as people say it's testing grounds, everybody still wants to win. We're all racers at the end of the day, and nobody likes coming second.
Davey, I want to say one wee thing to you. You know, we talk about the fact that the fans make this event, we feel anyway, as well. But I have to say, when you're standing here and you take a wee bit of crack and a wee bit of stick as well, I think this young man here is going to become one of the legends of the International Northwest 200, because what he brings to this event, he brings warmth, he brings friendship, he brings a smile on his face all the time, and he's always willing to help everybody in every single sphere of the Northwest 200. I think this is they're going to be one of the real stars of the International Northwest 200, if not already. So folks, again, put your hand together for the man. Come on! There you go, son. Brilliant point. And by the way, we've got a set of glasses handed up. Somebody maybe have mislaid their glasses somewhere. We can get them if you come to the side of the podium. We'll get them to you. Richard bringing up all these things. There are people who are going to sign autographs, take photographs, whatever you want. Come on, give them a welcome here. Richard, come on out front, son. Come and see your lovely posters. Oh, look at this. Hold that up there to the sea. Look what you're going to get. Not very nice one. So we'll get all those signed for as many as possible, won't you, Richard? Thank you very much indeed. Here, tell you what, boy. It wasn't easy last night.
No, it was difficult conditions. I've raced and podiumed in the wet before at the Northwest, but last night was very treacherous to be fair. And yeah, I did what I had to do, and it was good enough for. It's the fans, they're ringing me already. Sorry, man.
Answer there. Well, hey, just answer him there. See what he's got to say. Go and tell him you're live on the TV here. The way you're going. Bury him too, like, you know. But like, you know, Steve and the people that are involved, Steve is very, very conscious, and I feel everybody in the Northwest. Safety is important. What I maintain by a good Northwest is some great racing, but a safe Northwest. That's what everybody wants.
Yeah, and if the person who's ringing me is just there, lot. That's why he's ringing me.
Hey, tell you what, you don't need to be good looking to be one of his mates, do you, kid? Hey, look at that hat. Where are you from, Marboy? Is that a hard question? Like, I wasn't looking what you're kidding.
Let me tell you though, that's one of our newcomers this year, Brad Clark, right?
Oh, is it? Why are you not up here to say hello to us?
Ladies and gents, first of all, you know how I mentioned earlier about sharing a room with our Logan, how much it stunk this week? You should have smelled him on the grid every night in practice before he set off.
That's a bit harsh now, like that. And who's that good-looking lady beside you? Is that the boss? Oh, sorry, that one of you at home, Garrett, don't you worry, I know what I'm talking about. Yeah, but I think, I was talking about safety, and it's important that the right decisions are made. Some people weren't that happy with the decision to not run the last race, but it probably in hindsight was the right thing to do.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of the last race, to be fair. I felt it was getting a little bit late, and the conditions, they wasn't worsening as such, but you know, the light was fading. I spoke with Steve on the grid, and we sort of, I guess we agreed that we shouldn't go. There was a few people that wanted to go, but you know, if we get a dry race or two dry races on Saturday on the Super Twins, then you know everyone's going to forget about the controversy on the grid last night, and we'll have two races. So you know, I think it will be better for the fans because you know they've been stood in the rain all evening. So hopefully we get to put a show on Saturday and finish off the battle that was definitely about to commence in that race.
Were you put under any pressure from your team boss to have a go last night and ride, or was that your own decision?
Saying nothing.
Ryan was quite vocal in what he was saying, in what he wanted to do with the race. I'm just, if the bike's ready to go and the race is going to go, then I'm up for it. Equally, if we make a decision where the race gets postponed, I back that as well, really. I think I was prepared for all conditions, and fortunately it got cancelled. I think it was the right thing to do, and we'll go again.
I can't believe that Ryan was vocal. It's not like him now. Ryan's really quiet. Isn't it?
It's the first time obviously these fans would know Ryan Farquhar. It was quite a late deal that I'm riding one of his bikes, and he rang me up and he said, look, I need a decision in 10 minutes. And I was at work that time. I was just sat down having a coffee, and I knew it was going to be a great bike, the Super Twin, which is what the posters are that I'm going to give to you guys. And it's probably my best chance of winning a Northwest 200, and hopefully I can do that tomorrow. And the faith that Ryan and the JMC team have put into me to deliver some results, hopefully I can repay them.
I'm going to tell you, we're delighted that you came in as always and gave your time to come in and meet the fans, because they're the lifeblood of the whole event. You're going to go down and sign a few autographs and a few posters for us as well. Ladies and gentlemen, there you are on the podium last night, third spot. Richard Cooper. Richard, thank you very much indeed. Now, ladies and gentlemen, here's a man who's a legend in his own right. Where is he? Is he still? Excuse me. Any chance? You're on that, you? The good looking one. He's going to come to you. Listen, these lads won't go, they'll sign every autograph they possibly can. But ladies and gentlemen, show your appreciation to a man who came to the Northwest a few years ago, turned out an absolute bombshell of a performance, the one and only Glenn Irwin. Come on, he needs a bit more because he's still signing a few autographs. Come on. Look at that, he's a real gentleman, he refuses no. Yes. Honest to God, he loves it, doesn't he? You're right there, huh? You okay, sir? You happy enough now? You alright there? You're right, no more, 100%. Where are you from? Where are you from? From Coleraine? Fair play, a good man, one of the locals. Ah, look, there he is! Going to walk off again and get it in. You used to get it. Ladies and gentlemen, Glenn Irwin! Now, I just want to say a couple of things before we get into the bikes as well. Every year in the marquee, the hospitality marquee, every Friday, we have the school children come in from all the schools in the locality for a wee look round the paddock to say hello and to meet a few riders. And of course, Glenn, you only have to ask him once. He was there to talk to the children this morning. It shows you this is a young man who likes to give back as well to the sport. And I know you weren't there for it this morning, but he deserves a warm round of applause from all of us in the International Northwest 200 for giving us time to the children this morning. And Glenn, you enjoyed that this morning?
Yeah, it was good crack. Peter Hickman was there as well, so it's different chatting to school kids because you can't talk too technical about the bike. They don't understand, so I don't know.
I know what you mean.
I don't know how much they enjoyed it, but the left hand was autographing flat out for half an hour after, so yeah, it's nice. They got to come down. I think more importantly for them, they got out of school for a couple of hours, and that's something I would have enjoyed myself.
I have to say, Steve Plater signed 200 autographs. He couldn't get rid of one of them. But anyway, it was last night was terrible. I would say that's one of the worst conditions I've ever seen the Northwest been woman.
Yeah, look, it was. It probably wasn't terrible. It was wet. But I think we've all seen throughout the week, I'm sure we're all looking at the forecast. I look at it every 10 minutes and inform the rest of the riders what it's going to do every hour. But tomorrow looks like it's going to be a really good day. I think the grid this year, particularly in the bigger classes, is probably the strongest it's ever been. So I didn't want to do anything silly. There's a number of reasons you can have something really small and break a wrist and not be part of tomorrow, but I have two young kids, and when I'm road racing, it's a hard thing to do road racing when you have a young family, and when it's dry, I do feel like I'm in control. I can set the pace I want to do, I can find the limit, but we've all crashed in the wet, and you don't know how how you do it. So it's not a risk I'm prepared to take. I apologise for not lining up, but hopefully you understand, and we can put on a show tomorrow.
I would say you will. Now, yeah, look, everybody can fully understand that. And Steve, you're a man who knows what it's like to ride in treacherous, difficult conditions. And we were talking to Seeley when he came in after getting the 2 podiums last night, and Alastair was saying there were times when basically the bike was just planing on the water, and it was very, very dangerous in certain areas.
Yeah, with such high speeds and a strong wind as well, it takes the weight off the bike and things aren't working properly. And, you know, there's a little bit of luck involved in getting a good setup without any wet testing. But, you know, for me, with Glenn, you know, you kind of exploded into 2022, smashing 3 wins at Silverstone BSB the first round. A lot of confidence and running. How do you have to change to adapt to a road course after going through all that with the BSB?
You know, obviously, first of all, you're on a road, so you know, we don't want to crash at BSB because you lose points. Here, it's a little bit, you know, not as good if you crash. So I try to I ride equally as hard. You know, yesterday it's the best I think I've ever rode around here. I enjoyed it from I was, you know, 3 seconds into the qualifying session. Straight away I was feeling really good with my British Superbike, and you know, I brake as hard as I can upright. I get on the throttle as hard as I can, but just you know, some of the big lean angle corners, respect it a little bit and maybe be a few degrees less lean angle. But it was interesting in the paddock yesterday. A guy asked what speed we do at Station Corner, and I was like, oh, probably 150 mile an hour. And my data guy was there, so I was like, oh, pull that up, and we're given the right answer. So pretty scary. You know when you find out something and you wish you didn't know. So we're 186 mile an hour in a superbike on the approach to station, and then we're 51 degrees lean angle, and we slow down to 177 in the corner. So
170 slowing down on it.
Was that an inlet?
Where would you get it?
Yeah, but you know, it's the best feeling in the world. The Honda's working really good. I still have a few feet of tarmac, you know, beside me. Hickey was telling me he's on the white line, he's got no more road left, but I feel in control through there. The bikes are working well, they're fast. The turnout's good. I do get a serious kick off all the support I get. You know, you're going around, you're seeing people waving programs. It's, you know, we're local to it. It's the best feeling in the world, and it does give me, I think if you skip the BSB every week, I might finally win the championship.
Again, you talk about waving programs, which are very important for the lifeblood, and we say it a lot over here, but this is a jewel in the crown. This is fantastic for where we are. This wee place we're in, the Northwest, is a very, very special event.
Yeah, it's, you know, it's one of the best events in the world, and probably when it's local to us, it's easy to overlook how special it is, because we probably take it for granted. You know, from I was no age, I've been here. It's easy accessible. It doesn't matter whether you're from a poor family or a wealthy family. It's affordable to everyone. So I think having a few years away with COVID and having it back, you know, it's such a special event. We need to keep supporting it. In my eyes, maybe an unpopular thing to say, I think it's better than the TT, and it's head-to-head racing. I love watching racing head-to-head, and you know, I think the Northwest we should hold it in a higher regard, I think, in the wider sort of motorcycle you know, community as such.
I was hoping for an accolade for the Northwest 200. I'm not sure I could have wished for an even better one than that. To say what he said there, this man, one of the stars of the show, a man who was an amazing performer a couple of seasons back. I hope to God we'll see you in the podium tomorrow. I wish you a very, very safe Northwest 200. The man's glass out, Jane Irwin. And again, we'll go and sign autographs whenever he can for you all. As you know, the Northwest, the bikers are all about saying hello. A lot of fans down here for you again. Jane, thank you. Now, yeah, give him a big round of applause. Bed last night at 10 past. Would you please welcome, where is she there, Maria Costello. She's signed autographs too, but she'll run around quick. Come on, give her a big cheer. No, I tell you what, we've got good cheers, but I want a special one for Maria. Come on! Yes! We're racing! Hang on a sec, I'll be back in 20 minutes here.
Logan put me down. Logan.
Maria, I tell you what, it's, you know this, I can get doing a lot of events and doing a lot of gigs, and then I love coming along this year because I meet the likes of yourself and Steve and all the writers, and look, what I tell you is you're very special people, and there's no one more special, I feel, on the grid than yourself.
Logie, I love you.
I'll give you my address.
I'm going to take this off you. I'm going to take this off you because it's so good to be here, isn't it? How good is it to be here? Back in the Northwest 200. Even though I'm having a difficult time, I'm a bit up against it with my motorbike, and we've had a few issues, and we haven't had many laps, and we've had all that rain. I'm still loving it because of you. You make this so good. Thank you.
Can I have my mic back now? Okay. I meant to do this job. You're in the bike. Come on over here. Typical conditions last night. We can only hope for better conditions tomorrow. You're looking forward to that, obviously.
Yeah, massively. I just watching them last night. How brave are they? You know, the skill, incredible riding, amazing racing, fantastic racing, wasn't it? And but I'm looking forward to a bit of sunshine tomorrow and some dry laps. That would suit me a lot better. So you all need to be hoping for sunshine like me, please. And yeah, it's just great to be back.
Maria, you've been racing quite a long time now. I'm not having a dig.
No, that's not the way to put that. No, that's not.
I am tiptoeing.
No, just say your experience. Not you've been racing for a long time.
Obviously, I'm tiptoeing. I've got 3 females in my house at home. I know how sensitive it can be, but no, seriously. You know, you've been racing quite a long time, various different machines, bikes. What inspires you to keep going and keep going back to events like this?
Yeah, great question. But it's I love it. I still love it. You know, it doesn't get any easier. It feels like a really tough year. After having those 2 years out, definitely lost some momentum, and I'm going, oh my gosh, was racing always this hard? But ultimately, I love it. I love going fast on a motorbike, especially on real roads, and I love coming to Northern Ireland, and that's no word of a lie. I've really missed being here and just seeing all of you lot and feeling this atmosphere. And this hospitality, it's second to none. And I should be talking more about the bike racing, shouldn't I? But this is a massive part of it. And that's what keeps me going, I think.
One more question. Sorry, Logan. I'm a big fan, but if sidecars were going to come back to the Northwest 200, would you be driving around the North Coast on one of those?
Absolutely, absolutely. Adding in the sidecar racing to my career, I'm so glad I've done that. Obviously I get to race it at the TT, but bringing it back here, what we all need to do is a petition to Mervyn to get me to do at least a parade lap on my sidecar.
Who'd like to see sidecars around here?
Are you coming on the side?
Who wants to be passenger?
He's done it before. He's done it at the TT.
I have, and I have spoken strongly to Mervyn about firstly getting the Birchall boys over to do a parade, but also to push and try and get that class back over at races. I think it'd be great. And
I really appreciate this, and all the sidecar people will be appreciating that, because I think it's a wonderful spectacle already, but watching sidecars go around here would be amazing.
Maria, I want to say one wee thing as well too. We need more women getting involved in the sport, because we're talking about women being more authoritative in all areas. At long last, it's beginning to change in other sports. We need more in this fabulous sport.
Of course we do. I mean, it is happening. There's some fantastic classes at the 300, 400 series that are happening all over the world. We've obviously seen Anna Carrasco be a world champion, competing against all the guys. We've got 2 other females here racing, Patricia and Nadie, and they're fast and they're competitive, of course. And I know things have been spoken about the female lap record, and actually it is just about competing. I just think that female lap record does have a place because it highlights the fact that we're here, and young girls coming through will only know they can be a motorbike racer if they see it. It's very important that we're really visible, and that's why I'm sort of always shouting in the corner of all the girls. So it's important. We do want to see more women here. It's a tough old game. It's a tough game for everyone, but it's the best thing I ever did.
I would say to you, listen, that you come here for the atmosphere and you love seeing the fans. I think the fans love to see this lady, Maria Costello, one of the stars and stars in the show. Take your bow, out you go, away you go. Ladies and gentlemen, show our appreciation. And Joseph, are you going to do a photograph? Oh, right, okay, need a selfie, right, okay. When are you going to call it? After 3, 2, 1. Did you get it?
Yes. And one more thing, I'm selling my bobble hats in the paddock.
You're selling your bobble hats in the paddock? Fair enough. That's right, how much other when we're here?
I've got 15 quid. I've got to pay the mechanics somehow, haven't I?
Well, this new bobble hats are quite cute on you, anyway. I'm not sure what it look like on Mr. Plater, but there you go. Maria, thank you very much indeed. God bless. Away you go. I'm going to see who I have next. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, you know him. This is a great, great competitor here. Here on the podium, and give him a big welcome, Dean Harrison. Come on. Dean, God bless you. Good to see you, kid. Come on out. You looking forward to look the skies? You're coming out. The skies are beginning to brighten up.
Just look over this side. Don't look over there. But no, good. Hopefully tomorrow will be a nicer day. Last night was challenging, but at least we've got some racing under his belt, and hopefully that's enough of the wet stuff now. We'll have a nice dry day tomorrow and get some bikes going around.
Was it difficult, you know, you're an experienced fella, is it difficult whenever you come back after the 2 or 3 year layoff? Did you enjoy the opportunity to get out and go round the track again, the road again, to get to just to acclimatise yourself again with all the wee nuances and bounces and moves and stuff on the road?
Oh, massively, yeah. It's the first sort of big road race back for 3 years now, so it's great to get the head down and do a few 100 mile an hour down the big straight towards university. It's not often you get to do things like that, so it's just good to be honest. When I first got here, almost it didn't feel real, because we've been away for so long. I almost felt, I can't believe we're actually back here doing some road racing. So no, once we got the first night's practice out of the way, it sinks in, and then you sort of get the head into it.
Steve, you were mentioning that the fact that you were impressed by some of the more experienced fellas who wanted to go out and to reacclimatise themselves with the circuit, the Northwest 200. You thought that was a very professional approach.
Yeah, pretty much. You know, it's tough being away so long, isn't it? You know, from the course, and especially with the Northwest having so many areas resurfaced in places and different things. You know, and I know, you know, it's quite new. You know, you didn't get to ride your 22 Superbike till, was it Oldham Park Test? So quite late in the day. How tough is it to make that, to get reacclimatised with the high speeds?
Massively, to be honest. Like, so you can go on Alton Park all you want and BSB, but there's nothing like sat for 2.5 miles with your head down, or bumps, manhole covers, and just reacclimatise onto road racing. Even when things are so close, do you know, the hedges, the walls, and things like that. Especially when you go up under the train bridge towards Black Hill. It almost gets us instead and ready for the TT, really, and gets us used to things being a bit more in close quarters.
Dean, I know that you would also, because we mentioned it before, you appreciate that obviously the fans come out, but the volunteers for the Northwest 200, the flag marshals, the people that are doing the scrutineering, everybody all work to make this the success it is.
Massively, to be fair. Every rider on the grid knows, and even all the mechanics in the paddock, they've got a massive appreciation to every volunteer, every marshal that's out there, because whether it's wind, rain or shine, they're going to be putting the flag out for the racing, giving you the warnings and making the racing go ahead. Without them, there won't be the spectators here now, and won't be racing motorbikes. So I think everyone agrees that it's obviously a massive thanks to them all, really.
Are you confident about tomorrow?
Yeah, no, I feel good to fair. The Superbike's reasonably well. We sort of got a reasonable lap in the last lap, so it put us on the second row, which is in good stead, really, in a good place for the start. 600's going well. Stocker's not quite there yet, but it's something we're going to work on tomorrow.
You know, you fly the Kawasaki banner. It's obviously a very strong machine. We see what Johnny Ray does at World Superbikes. Is it? I know you're not on a full factory bike, but it's still a great bit of kit.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, the Kawasaki now, I've been in it since 2016. I've been in a Kawasaki, so
I'm almost part of the furniture now. So it's one of them. I'd love to write something else. You never know, but it's been done really well in the past. So if we can try and get it on the podium tomorrow, will be a nice start to the day.
You know, we've seen, obviously you've been Silicon Engineering Kawasaki team for the last few seasons. Quite a big change, certainly in colours this year.
Yeah, no, we've got a new sponsor there. The silicone company's now, that's gone, so Calissa owns the team. She also owns the Dow, so that's now become the title sponsor. But they've had a new colour scheme, rebranding, but everything behind the scenes is the sort of same as it was before, really. So it's just a new fresh look for the new road race season.
You know, a bit like Hickey, you go and do the full BSB to get yourself sharp and race ready. Round 2, Alton Park BSB, we saw Davey Johnston there with OMG getting himself smashed up, you know, did a pelvis and some stuff. Is that not a big risk now before the major road races?
It is, exactly. You almost got to ride. I don't think you ride with a bit in the bag, but you've just got to be careful on it. Even yesterday, I went to the Supersport race. I felt reasonably comfortable, so I had a mechanical problem in the Superstock race, but it's a little not I would have said management, but you just got to have that little bit of care, be a bit careful about it, especially when the conditions are ideal on Thursday and they're looking good for Saturday. You've got to have you've got a little to gain and a lot to lose, so you've got to have that little bit in hindsight.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Northwest is a big successful event for so many reasons, but here's another reason, because men like Dean, whenever they're asked, always turn up for us, the viewing public, and we really appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to give a very special welcome and show your appreciation for the fabulous Dean Harrison, great supporter of the sport and of course the Northwest 200. Now, we're going around, we're selling more programmes again because the programmes are very special, and there'll be a voucher in these programmes on the... So I'm not going to give him one because he doesn't need one. Show your appreciation to the man, the legend, sometimes called John Mcginnis. John, hey, I have to say, it would do your heart good every time you see him. You bring him up here because during the whole COVID thing, we weren't sure it was going to happen again. And to have this man stand beside us once more here in Coleraine and meet the Raiders, I'd have to say, in a record crowd too for everybody, which we're delighted about. God, John, it's great to have you back.
Great to be here, yeah, no, like you say, it's been a long wait, hasn't it, and been really frustrating times, but yeah, it's all come back together, hasn't it, and the paddock's atmosphere is amazing. The atmosphere here today is amazing. The kids and families that are out here, it's yeah, unbelievable to be going down that link road at 200 mile an hour again. Last night, I'm still aching now. My legs and my old body's struggling a little bit, but yeah, no, it's fantastic to be back. And long may it continue. If I'm racing next year or if I'm not, I'll come back and support this event because it's brought me so many happy memories. A couple of bad ones along the way, but mainly great memories, and I really embrace it and enjoy this place. It's awesome.
I would say great memories too for all of us here, all the fans here, because you now are one of the legends of this particular event, indeed of the sport. And just to give you a wee Brucey bonus tonight, Stephen Watson's in the marquee with who's he with? Oh, Johnny Ray, yeah, I forgot. Johnny Ray's in the marquee tonight. But after we talk to Johnny, myself and his nibs are going to do a 10 or 15 minute chat. And what he also has on offer is a special, what have you got on offer for the fans now?
I've just been distilling my own gin now, so yeah, it's called Mcgin. So you never know, just trying to earn a few quid on the side as you do, but it's a nice gin apparently.
What do you mean apparently? I saw you neck 2 or 3 bottles of it this week.
Well, yeah, I can't hold my beer anymore now. Now I'm 50 years old, I'm pretty average on the drink, so... but no, it's just a nice beer. We're only going to make 1,000 bottles of it, and it's been distilled by a 12 times world champion, Dougie Lampkin, who's a trials rider. I just thought we'd have a bit of crack. It's only a bit of fun, and like I say, it's a proper embossed painted bottle, and it's got a little story on the back, and yeah, I can sign every one of them, like you say, no problem if you want one, but I've got to be careful in the paddock. I haven't got a licence to sell them, so if you come and tap on my door in the motorhome, we'll slip them out the back door.
I hope the two police. Sorry, lads, cover your ears down there at the back. Those lads, good lads, thanks very much. And by the way, just when I'm here, just when I happen to be standing there, a big thanks to everybody in all our emergency services, the ambulance there, the police as well, for all their efforts and cooperation in the week of the North West. Thanks very much, lads. And as they have been practicing and saying in the marquee, they're not here to spoil anybody's fun. They want you to have a safe time and go home safely after it's over. Back in the name of God, look at this here. Now hang on, do it again, go back again, I get a crowd behind you. Now I want to say, this is going to be captioned the old and the young. There you are, ladies and gentlemen. What about this? Oh no, here comes the main actor. You get in there, Stevie Davison. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to have him here. Look at the efforts this man does every single year too for the Northwest 200. The man who does all the press. Look at this. Come on, he's the shame man behind it all. And you always hate that. John, we talked a lot about, Steve was talking about the various things and people getting used to it again. The lineup this year is particularly, it's strong, isn't it?
Yeah, really, really competitive. Lots of BSB riders here, lots of top TT riders here, and lots of good machines as well. You know, when you look down here, the BMW is strong, the Yamaha's in there, the Kawasaki, the Honda. And when you look down, you think, oh, well, he's fast, and in second place, he's fast, and you know, Rutters and your Harrisons and your Hickeys and everybody else, there's nowhere really to hide, you know. So if you're in the top 10 in that, you're in good company. So, and that's where I am. I was 10th on the Superbike, 8th on the Stocker. So I've sort of hit my targets really. I think it's realistically, if I get in the top 10, I'll have done a good job.
So what about your teammate? Obviously, you know, this year's a big year for you. Well, big year for the brand as well. 30 years of the Fireblade, a bit of pressure on there, you know, showboating. But you're coming in, I suppose, arguably, you're number 2 rider. You're here with one of the favourites, Glenn Irwin, to win racing on a superbike. But then you're going to go to the TT and you're the kingpin. You know, there's a bit of difference there in the two events.
Yeah, there's a huge difference there. But I mean, Glenn's going to start somewhere. He's going to come in pretty high-profile newcomer into the TT, and you know, one of my jobs is to try and guide him along a little bit, which I don't mind doing that at all. You know, I mean, I want to see lads progress and go to the TT and become, you know, another great TT rider. But it's going to be difficult for him. There's a lot of pressure on it. When I went there for the first time, I was on a small capacity bike, but he's on a 230 horsepower bike. But I tried to follow him yesterday. We went out on the track together, and he was gone. He's really, really strong here. The pressure's on him this week. The pressure will be on me in a couple of weeks at the TT. And, but yeah, no, it's great to work with Glenn. It's a new generation as well. I'm 50 years old, so I've come through 2 strokes to 4 strokes to no traction control, no this into electronics. You know, so I'm actually learning quite a lot of Glenn, and we share each other's data, and if we can help each other out in a few little areas, it's good. And the combination works good. You know, I like all my teammates. I've been, you know, sat up here talking about my teammates. I've had Steve as a teammate, Conor Cummins as a teammate, I've had Joey Dunlop as a teammate, you know, I've had Michael Dunlop as a teammate, I've had some amazing teammates, and you know, Glenn's just another one of the journey of my 30 odd years of racing.
There's a word that always springs to mind for me whenever I do this and do other things and in these other sports. The word respect amongst the riders is incredible. You have huge respect for each other. You know your talents, your skills, but there's great respect out there.
Absolutely, there has to be. You know, when you're a couple of inches off somebody at 200 mile an hour, you know, you've got to have that mutual respect for each other, and yeah, slightly different camaraderie as well. We all, it's funny, I've been out all week eating with Connor and Davey Todd, and we are all good friends, and we all look out for each other, and I think it's a great way to be. And you know, I like all the characters. We need them. You know, there's young ones, there's older ones, there's mad ones, there's quiet ones, but like I say, when we're on track, there has to be some mutual respect there, and I think there is, and it's probably one of the only sports in the world where it is. You know, we do know how dangerous it is and how quick it can go wrong. So you know, let's make it continue, mate.
So fast forward, tomorrow the sun's shining, midday. What's your predictions? What are you going to be doing?
What am I going to be doing?
Brazil-wise.
Do you know what?
I don't mean pre-race. What are you going to be doing?
Yeah. Well, I'm a bit nervous. I do get nervous when it comes to racing. Like I say, I've been on the grid so many times, but I do put a lot of pressure on myself as well. You know, there's a lot of expectation and there's a lot of expense, and it's a factory team as well, so they expect results. But you know, it's going to be wheel to wheel. It's going to be action. It's going to be great racing. The best man is going to win on the day. Who that's going to be, I don't know. I'd like it to be Glenn, just for the Honda story. But for me, if I'm realistic, if I'm in a group of people and I'm enjoying myself and I'm riding the best I can, if it's 6th or 7th or 8th or whatever, that's where it is. But it's just took me a little bit of a while to get going. The confidence come back a little bit, because I've been struggling a little bit with. Well, last time I was there was with a Norton, and that was a mess. You know, I never looked good in a silver suit. I looked like a fat chicken in tinfoil. So I never looked great in silver. I'm glad that's all behind me. So, but yeah, if it's the top 10 and we're all in one piece and we're in the bar and you buy a drink on Saturday night, everything, I'll be happy.
I can't imagine that suit, a silver suit, a big chicken in a silver suit. What about that? What about a big Egypt and a lovely Egypt and a beautiful jacket here today? Ladies and gentlemen, John Mcginnis, and he's in the marquee tonight. We're going to be talking to him as well. And selling his Mc Guinness. John, God bless you. It's always a pleasure. It was really interesting, because earlier in the week Steve did a fantastic chat show with Peter Hickman and Horst, and I can understand every word that Horst said, but Peter, no, it wasn't true. This is an old lad who comes to the Northwest and gives so much back. Peter, you must be looking forward to decent weather tomorrow.
Yeah, I can't wait. Can't be much worse than it was last night, can it? But no, it's been an interesting week for me. The weather's been kind of hit and miss on Tuesday. It wasn't too bad, to be fair, just a little bit mixed, and then yesterday morning was pretty glorious, really, wasn't it? It was nice all the way through the practice and qualifying, and then the heavens opened for the evening, which was a bit of a shame, really. And I tried, you know, I went out and I wasn't in the Supersport race anyway, but I went out on the Stocker, and yeah, not great on the first lap. They gave us 2 warm-up laps, so I came straight in to make a big change to the bike because I wasn't comfortable. I did another walk lap, still wasn't comfortable, made another big change again to at least try and start the race and try and put on a show for you guys, really, as much as anything else. Obviously we won a race, but when you guys are all stood there out in the rain as well, I feel like we all need to make the effort. So I went off the line and didn't feel great again. I had some really big moments in some unusual places, and I just felt the risk was too much, so unfortunately I pulled in after lap 1, and hopefully tomorrow we can rectify that with some nice sunshine and some fast, safe racing for all of you lot to watch and for us to be involved in.
People had to be conscious too last night, bad conditions, but it was cold. It was cold as well, which gets inside you.
Yeah, which is probably half of the problem that we had, really, was the cold, not necessarily the water. There wasn't too much standing water around, but we could not get any temperature into the tyre whatsoever, which is really unusual, especially with a wet tyre, because they're so soft, they generate heat really easily. But it was honestly like riding on ice. There was places in 6th gear on the run to university where you just have a little kink left and a little kink right just before you get there, and in 6th gear, 195 mile an hour, the bike went sideways and lock to lock, and that doesn't normally happen. You know, that's really unusual, and that's why I felt the risk was too much.
I'm going to hand you over to Steve in a moment, but I just want to say that the chat show that this lad did with these 2 fellas during the week was exceptional. Listen to John Mcginnis, he gets a wee bit nervous. You must be the most laid-back driver or rider on the grid that I know. You just rack up on the bike and away you go.
Yeah, I've always been pretty much the same, horizontal one way or another. I like to be laid back, you know, life's too short to worry about all the other rubbish going on in the world, isn't it? So, yeah, nice and chilled. I get up late in the morning, put my leathers on and go riding, that's about it.
I don't think it's that easy in your life to. That was one of my questions next, really. You know, you're the ultimate professional. You know, we've done quite a few gigs together. You come up here on stage and you say all the right things and do the right things within your riding and, of course, with all the public. But you're a busy boy. British Superbikes, you know, the Isle of Man TT, the Northwest, all the other events that you do. You're running the O'Varley racing series for the kids, and obviously you got your performance centre. How do you manage to concentrate on racing flipping motorbikes with all that going on in your life?
It's something I get asked quite a bit, and interestingly enough, even from a sponsor point of view or even the team point of view, it's always a comment that gets brought up of, you know, we need to make sure you're concentrating on racing and not on all this other stuff going on in the background. But to be honest, I've always been a person that's able to just shut off from things. Like with my business, I've got lots of other side businesses going on here, there and everywhere, and O'Reilly's and parts and kids' parents, which are a pain in the ass to be quite honest, but the kids are all brilliant, the kids are mega, and the racing's awesome. We've got a championship, a couple of championships in the UK and one in Ireland now for the kids. They're like between 6 and 8 years old upwards, up to about 15, 16, which is brilliant. One make series, one make class, so it's nice and fair and even between all the riders, which is brilliant. But honestly, when I come to a race weekend, I literally switch off from it all. I don't look at my emails, I don't really look at my texts or anything like that. When I come to a race weekend, I'm here to race, and that's that. So that's what I concentrate on. I guess I just take on whatever the job is in hand at the time, I just do that.
You know, last night, obviously different conditions. We chatted earlier about, you know, lack of grip on your stocker and not being quite so happy, which is fair enough in those conditions, but you know, tomorrow, hopefully nice and dry, bit of sunshine. What kind of disadvantage is it for you, being as tall and big as you are, racing against a little man as big as that little speaker there that won 2 races yesterday?
It's probably more difficult than people realise. Power to weight makes a massive difference, and also actually to top speed, more because of the actual physical size on the bike is obviously more wind or more drag. So yeah, it can be quite difficult. And off them little chicanes, people like Lee Johnston, Alastair, they really jump away because the power to weight is massive for them. So luckily here at the Northwest, because of the big long straights, we've actually got a bit of time to run back at them in the slipstream, which makes a big difference.
Well, all the very best tomorrow anyway.
And before he goes, he always is a ray of sunshine. And look what Peter Hickman has brought to us in Coleraine today. A ray of sunshine. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the stars of the International Northwest 200. All round good guy too. Show our appreciation, Peter Hickman. Peter, run him off this way. Will you get all your autographs and do your signings, whatever it is. We appreciate it. God bless you. Thank you. Now next up, a wee man with a big heart. I give a great welcome to the one and only Lee Johnston! How are you? No? Are you shy? You look like your dolly then? No, you are shy. What's his wee name?
Jesse.
Jesse. Ladies and gentlemen, what a bit of special welcome for wee Jesse here on the stage. Isn't that lovely? Do you know that normally when you do, Jesse, when you do public appearances, you know, I guess, you know, you normally get paid. Did you not know that? There's your payment. You go and get a big ice cream that night. And I tell you what, do yourself a favour. Don't give it to your dolly because he'll spend it. All right? Lee, it's great to have you here, boy. And look at this sweet, gorgeous dote here like that. Hey, what about tomorrow then, kid?
Yeah, I think, well, I pussied out last night, didn't I? So I'm going to have to put a bit of a show on for everyone on Saturday. But yeah, first of all, I want to say well done to the guys that did race last night, and especially Alastair and that for winning some races. But yeah, it just wasn't for me, so it's up to me to apologise to that for everybody here, and we're going to put a show on tomorrow.
I don't think apologise is the word. I think people who are through bike fans understand that people have their own personalities. Sometimes it suits, sometimes it doesn't. If you think it's dangerous for yourself, like nobody wants Lee Johnston to go out and hurt himself. Nobody wants that to happen.
Yeah, I know, but still people pay their money to see a show, and that's the way life is. But yeah, so that was just my opinion, and that's the way we're going to go with it.
There you are, there's the heart and soul of a racer there. When you think about it, they just always thinking about you, the people as well too. What do you think of this man, Steve?
Well, he's alright. Hey, no, seriously, you know, obviously, mate, you're riding so good at British Championship, you're on the pipe, and you've got to be confident for the Supersport race tomorrow.
Yeah, obviously the way the British Championship's been going and stuff, and everyone's like, oh yeah, you're going to win this, you're going to win this. It's like as if there's no one else here. So you look down the timesheet and probably the top 8 or 10 have won Northwest, TTs, British Championships. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of good riders here. Back when Steve was winning, no one turned up. Do you know what I mean?
I remember that race. There was Steve, there was his uncle, and there was who? I think it was his sister, and that was it.
It was more of a goodwill thing. I think they drew the podium out of a hat on the Tuesday, and then that's the way it worked for the rest of the week. But it's obviously different now, isn't it?
I forgot Mervyn White was on a push bike that year too as well. So you were certain to win that there. Look at you talk about the quality, but and the standard. So you have to raise your game as well too, because the capabilities there, the skills there, but things have to go your way whenever it goes to such a tough race to go.
Yeah, obviously there is a little element of luck involved, but I think if you obviously surround yourself in a good team with good bikes, and you can sort of align all your things to give yourself the best chance possible, and then, like I say, there is a little bit of luck after that, but yeah, we're definitely going to give it a go, and that's the plan. And all the other guys, any of the top 6 or 8 that are here, say they're not here to try and win or lying. Do you know what I mean? We're all here to try and win, but unfortunately only one of us can do that, so hopefully it's me.
I certainly hope you all the very, very best too. Like that, and is it different now when you have this wee man here? Whenever you look at it, because the dangers of the sport are there for all to see, and then you have this wee dope to stand alongside. Does that make any difference to you?
Well, yeah, in a sense, I thought his mum was expensive, but he's a lot more expensive, so I'm gonna have to do a bit more. But no, it's obviously, especially on the side of Christy, she's took a massive sacrifice, and she knew what she was getting into. But Jessie doesn't know anything about what's happening or of any interest. But no, I think what I want to do and what I want to achieve comes from inside, and it's a little bit selfish in that sense, but that's the way life is, unfortunately, until I stop, and you have to have that mindset, or else you wouldn't be any good, would you?
Well, sometimes you're around the side there when I was introducing you, might have heard it, but the welcome that you got from the people here is you're a very, very popular lad on the grid. Isn't that correct, isn't it? Even Jerry said, I'm going to be a wee bit broken here, one of our own, you know what I mean? I don't any disrespect to anybody else, all them foreigners coming up, but I'm talking about, you're one of our own, and that's why we think so much of you.
Yeah, it's funny, when I used to come as a kid, all I wanted to do was see someone from home win, so when people like him come over, I was fuming, and you'd Plater and Rutter and all these guys used to win all the time, so seeing hopefully myself or Glenn or Alastair or whoever win, that little boy still in there wants to beat the English, so yeah.
We typical for man and man, slopping into them. Steve, this man here is a wee bit of a, he's a force, isn't he? Force to be reckoned with?
Yeah, very much so, you know, doing a great job on all the disciplines really. It's got to be hard work though, mate. You know, obviously you said surrounding yourself with good people to be fast, but obviously you're the team boss now, so there's a lot of work involved. It probably makes it easier because you've got the pick of the crop.
Yeah, I think the options of road racing are you ride for a factory team and then you don't get to pick. Obviously we ride 3 classes, so Superbike, Super Stock and Super Sport, but when you've got a good private team you can pick whether you want a big BM, an R6 or an Aprilia or whatever, so I think sometimes you're a little bit better off, obviously if you get the funding and stuff, to have a private team, and that's the way we go, and I'm lucky enough to have a good team and a good sponsor in Ashcourt behind me, so yeah, I'm going to have to try and make the most of it now.
And Lee, you're going to stay and sign a few autographs for the fans as well too, like that, and it clearly he is your son because he's held on to that favour like that, so thanks guys. So there you are. Lily, God bless you, take it easy, okay, you're going to wave bye-bye to everybody? Oh, dude. Bye-bye, says, come on, give him a big wave, bye-bye. Lee, God bless you, thank you very much indeed. I'm only joking, of course, he is the legend. Again, we talk about John Mcginnis being the legend, but here is one of the all-time greats, Jeremy Mcwilliams. Come on, folks. On together for Jeremy. What about that? Look at that there, mate. Hey. What about you, kid? How are you? Eh? In the name of the good Lord, on the podium again.
Yeah, it's just very lucky, I think. Look, the rain came down and I don't really mind the rain. You know, I think it's a great leveler. And it was certainly good for us last night, and the wee Burrows team, you know, they worked hard for that and deserved it.
John was delighted when he came in. We came into the marquee last night, which we were delighted about, and John was there. Why was he beaming like a Cheshire cat?
He was so happy, honestly. I've never seen John as happy. He said the last time he was on the podium, we beat him, he was on a super twin. They were on the podium in third, it was about 2015. So it's been a long time coming for him again. And you know, I'm pretty sure had it been dry, it would be a struggle to get that far up from where I was on the grid. But yeah, the whole team were just over the moon, really were over the moon.
It was great too, because Jill and everybody was there. Come on, stand out in the sunshine, it's not often we get it here. Everybody was there and they were so pleased. The welcome you got, like the welcome here in the marquee, the hospitality marquee, was incredible. You're a very popular boy, and you all sponsored by Bayview and Trevor and the lads out there who always support the event.
Yes, it's lovely to be connected with such good sponsors. You know, Trevor Kane has been a friend of mine for quite a long time. We've been using the Bayview for many, many years. And from to come on board as a title sponsor was a bit of a dream come true. And that's kind of why I was disappointed about not getting out last night on his super twin. But hopefully we'll make up for that tomorrow and get 2 races, hopefully.
Here, will I tell you, one of my roommates this week is a fellow who loves putting people right in it, so I'm going to put him right in it now, because the man who probably made the decision for you not to go out last night is standing right beside you. Isn't that right, Peter? Hey, speak up for yourself now.
I was just looking after the elderly, that was all.
we were just discussing this inside actually with Davey Todd and Peter Hickman and, you know, Alastair Seeley about why it didn't go. You know, that was a 90 horsepower class, probably the safest class to be running in those conditions after they've been running 200 horsepower stock bikes. So yeah, I was a little bit confused. I do understand the time constraints and all the rest of it, but maybe we just need to shorten the time between races and maybe nick a lap off the stock boys. I think 6 laps in the rain for you guys, the hardened fans out there. Well done for you all to be standing there, because I couldn't have stood out for 6 laps. So maybe a 4 or 5 lap race in the stock, and we could have all got going. But listen, it is what it is. The conditions weren't ideal, but tomorrow we'll definitely be trying to make up for that.
Well, Jeremy, you're a legend listening in the sport. Like, I know you well, go back too long. I was with you in many places all over the world when you were doing various other racing and other events and things like that. And then you came here, I remember a few years ago when you said this was one of your dreams, to come to the Northwest to compete. And then you're coming to the Northwest and you're hitting the podium. Like, it's like a whole new career for you, isn't it?
It's been a good year actually, Logie. You know, I got an invite to go over and test with Indian motorcycles, which was a bit of a bolt out of the blue on these baggers, and I had really no idea what they were. And I went over, tested it, and said, right, you're going to ride Daytona. That was a good enough test, so you're going to ride Daytona. Went to Daytona, and luckily pulled one out of the bag. So it's just things have just tended this year. They've all fallen into place, and it's been good because it's been a couple of years without any racing whatsoever. Come back in 2022 and everything just seems to be working. So I think somebody's looking over me, and I'm just dead lucky to be, you know, still doing this at my age and enjoying it and still getting podiums.
Steve, you know the thing gets me, you're standing here with a fella, you know what it's like, you have your own TT wins, Northwest wins, and a boy like this stands beside you and says, I went to Daytona and I just pulled one out of the bag. You just don't pull one out of the bag in Daytona, you have to have the ability, the skill and the talent, and he's got bags of it.
I do know, you know, we started seeing you first of all on Ryan's KMR bikes, KMR Super Twins here at the Northwest. Now you've progressed to Super Sport and not doing a bad job last night. What am I going to see on a Superbike?
I'm trying to avoid that one, to be honest. I've watched these guys on the Superbikes and I do take my hat off to them. Riding a Superbike around here is a pretty daunting experience, I have to say. You know, 240, 250 horsepower. What they're doing with them right now is pretty incredible. Glenn seems to have it well sorted, bringing his BSB bike over. So I think well sorted Superbikes lend themselves well to it. But to be honest with you, a stock bike would do me. I wouldn't want to ride any more than a stock bike. So if the opportunity came up, you know, I wouldn't say no to it. But I'm enjoying that Super Sport class. That's a lot of fun. You do have to really try in it, but it's a fun class, and the horsepower kind of suits my age.
But there's the real talent, you know. I hope somebody was listening out there. If the opportunity comes up, so you might, you would never discount it.
I can never say no to anything. Look, it's, you know, I'm sort of surprised at guys who say, look, that's me, I'm retired and all the rest of it. And you know, I've come along here, kind of pretend this might be my last Northwest 200. You know, I'll probably not come back next year, but that's not going to happen. I'll probably end up back again next year and the year after that again, because I enjoy it so much. getting amongst, the atmosphere here, going out to dinner with my family and friends tonight is really part of what the whole Northwest Week is about. To share time and space with lots of like-minded people on the North Coast. Why would you not want to come back?
You have travelled the world doing your sport. You come back here into our wee place, into Northern Ireland. You come up here to the Northwest 200, and I know we've said it before, but the fans out there, the people, they really make it, don't they?
It is. That's what makes it special. The atmosphere here. When you do that out-lap around the track, it's incredible how many fans you see in different places the whole way around. It's a 9-mile course, and it's lined, with people all the way around it, and you do get a very special adrenaline buzz whenever you do that out-lap. And once the flag drops, of course you don't see any of that until you're back out on the next one and looking at the out-lap and thinking, wow, what a place, what an atmosphere, even in all kinds of weather. So we're hoping tomorrow will be a lot better, and we'll get even more of you out along the roads and cheering us on.
Leave the last one to Steve.
Just one last quick. You mentioned family and enjoying the time out and about, and enjoying a bit of time together. But it's been a long career. GPs, and then moving on to doing what you're doing now, plus test riding away from home a long time. The Mrs. Jill, she's got to be well supportive. How does she feel year in, year out, and you think, oh, just one more year then?
She sort of says, not again, and then of course, I talk her into it and promise her a new pair of shoes, and that seems to work. So either shoes or handbags work, so she's going to get one or the other. John Burroughs gave her a bottle of gin. That kind of helped sweeten the news that I was going to ride a Super Sport 600 bike. But yeah, I mean, you do need the support of the family and friends about you, and yeah, you do put them through a bit, but. It's lovely when it works out like last night does. I mean, that makes all the worry just and of course that's more nerves. It makes all the nerves more worthwhile too.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to move on to our final rider, but wait a minute, come back over here before he leaves us, because the chances are, hopefully I'll be talking to him tomorrow on the podium in the hospitality marquee. Yet another one of the fabulous reasons why we all turn up here at the International Northwest 200. This man is a gentleman, a class act, as form as temporary, class as permanent. Jeremy Mcwilliams. Come on! Come on! What about that? Isn't that class? Yes! Thank you. Look. Hey, even the inspectors applauding. Look at that. Look at him. Look, get a shot at. Hey, look at that. You can wave it up this. There you go. Thanks again to everybody in the police, PSNI. Would you please give a very, very special welcome to the wee wizard himself, the one and only Alastair Seeley! What did I tell you? How many wins now?
20 sacks, hey.
20 sacks, hey. You from Ballymena, hey, are you?
Actually born in Ballymena, the Waveney Hospital, so there's a bit of Ballymena in me.
Keep it quiet. Anyway, hey, what about last night? I talked to you whenever we were in the marquee, you came across after getting the win. The first win for you, the family, all your connections, it was very, very emotional. It was almost as if you were sending a message out to say that you're still here and very much in business.
Yeah, to be honest, the Super Sport race was special, because obviously 2019, the last time we were here, was the first year that I missed even a podium and no wins. So, you start to get that creeping into you. Flip is the old age thing coming in, and the 2 years obviously that we were away with COVID didn't help things. It makes you think more. But I put the effort in again. I obviously got a good team around me with IFS. I rode last year at home local stuff, and I knew the bikes were well prepared. The bikes are good. There's no money spared on what we need, so whatever I asked for, they produced, and the bikes were good. And then I was happy last night. Just kind of me and Davey Todd were having a bit of a ding dong in the Super Sport in the wet. And doing a bit of jockeying as you do in that class, and managed to. Jeremy helped me out, so Jeremy's my training partner, my golf partner, and also my teammate now. So thanks for that, Jazza, last night, that wee manoeuvre. Just give me the break,
give me the break to get away, and obviously it didn't allow Davey to come back because the speed of that Honda. They're talking about 700 cc's and pistons coming out of boats the size of the Titanic and all for that Honda. So it was hard to work with in a straight line, but obviously I've been here long enough, and me and Steve going back to 2008 were jockeying in the chicanes and stuff, so he learnt me a lot, and I've kept it in the back pocket and the back of the head for all those years.
You were saying last night you came up with maybe with that wee bit of experience maybe told against Davey last night. I know you were also hitting about the fact that you were hitting a few puddles, and she was, I forget how you described it, but there wasn't a way to describe it at all, but you were going a wee bit, it was dangerous enough.
Yeah, there was a big puddle at Macroboy chicane, so every time Davey was in front and he went through the puddle, I just got splashed all over the visor. So I was kind of getting a wee bit annoyed with that, and I thought I need to get to the front. I'm sick of getting splashed with this big puddle. But I was having to work with the speed of it and try and get close to it. And we had a bit of a chat backstage there about strengths and weaknesses and where we're good and where we're not. So I didn't tell him everything for tomorrow.
How will tomorrow be? Will it be more difficult? Will it be easier? What will it be like? You know, the weather, as we can see now, we're standing. The sun at last is beginning to blink through. It looks like the weather's going to be okay.
Yeah, looking at the forecast, you know, we kind of knew that Saturday was going to be the best day of the week. It's given the temperature quite good and quite warm. There's hardly any wind, so that's a good thing as well. And tomorrow, with it being dry roads, all being well, the racing will be more like qualifying. It'll be a lot closer. I would suspect there'll be a lot more slipstreaming involved. You qualify in pole position, yes, it's good for the head and good for like morale and team boosting and all, and a wee bit of psychology and all that. But by the time I get to university, I'll probably be shuffled back to 5th or 6th. So you know, then you've got a bit of work involved to sort out 6 laps. But we'll not hit the panic button. I've been here a long time. I've done a lot of races. They were asking me last night, you know, is this the first time you've been around in the cold, wet conditions? But I can remember a few of them, and they're not the ideal situation, but I seem to cope with them pretty well. I don't know whether it's just because I'm a wee hard man from Carrick or whatever it is, but I get on with it. It is what it is, you know. I've done motocross for years. There's times when you have no tear-offs left in a pair of goggles and you're having to look through just the muddy lens, and you just have to adapt to things. And I think that's, you know, it's one of my strengths, where I just adapt. Things aren't working. Sometimes you never get a perfect motorbike, but you just have to overcome it and ride to its strengths and push on through the weaknesses.
I was going to say, how many wins have you got now?
26.
26, okay. So I'd like to ask a man here who's won. How many did you win? 8. Oh, 8, okay. Do you want to ask that man a question, since he's only won 3 times more than you? But there you go, what? There you go, Peter.
Yeah, I've got a big question actually. Right. I heard through the grapevine you're a postman now. I thought all postmen wore shorts.
I
or are they shorts for normal men?
I tried that one day, and the welfare were on to me. They seen the state of my legs. That's what they actually, the day I wore shorts in work, they were all saying, "Here, look at his legs." And I was like, bugger off, the trousers were back on the next day, so.
No, so obviously, you know, you said you train with Mcwilliams, spend a lot of time with him. Are you going to keep racing till you're as old as that man?
Racing, yes. I think, you know, like now the 26s came, and they say, like we talked about 25 coming here, and now like we've surpassed it again. If I keep going and doing what I do and doing my homework, you know, I look at that magical number of my race number, 34. Obviously we won't get it this year, but if we kind of keep chipping away at it, maybe getting 1 or 2, you know, 34 might be somewhere where I might say, right, enough's enough. It's time to maybe set the bar and move on, and maybe do just short circuit racing or whatever. But you know, it's the buzz of this place keeps you coming back. You know what it's like. You keep coming back, you keep going to the Anchor, you keep drinking Guinness. So
hey, I've got a new spot. I've got a new spot.
I tell you what, he doesn't buy any, I'm gonna tell you that.
He's short arms and deep pockets, that's what's wrong with that man. I put it like myself, I think it's just a motorbike thing. You know, you race motorbikes and you spend so much of your own money, you're feared to buy drink.
You know what I laughed at whenever you were talking about coming back and maybe up to 34? I had a perfect vision of the boss down here, and you wanted to see the face whenever you said that.
She read something there on social media, and she go over and said, "Did you actually say that?" And I said, I think I probably did. And she gave me a big evil eye. So she's seeing Jeremy going around at 58, and Jill's enjoying the handbags and the shoes and all. So she's already got her order in this week after them 2 wins last night.
I thought the 2 wins were fantastic. I tell you what, too, you said it too as well. You praised everybody that got on the back of a bike last night because that was incredible. Didn't matter if they went off after one or they quit or whatever. People who got on there deserve such praise. It was fantastic for anybody to do that.
Yeah, to be fair, like the conditions were slippy. You know, I spoke to Steve about there's a few new patches of tarmac have been put down, and in the dry, you know, dry tarmac and the tarmac gets warm and stuff. You've got track temperature. But last night, the time that we were racing in the cold weather, the tyres actually probably started to cool down a little bit, and on some of the surfaces there wasn't a lot of grip. So, you know, we're here long enough now, we've been around the mill, you just have to adapt and be smart, you know. But looking at a few pictures I've seen this morning, I must have forgot about that for a split second. There was two sketchy moments coming up out of York and Black Hill, but they were kind of two warnings to say don't be going for a third slide that bad. So yeah, to be fair, it's not just the riders that need giving praise, it's the people that stood out in them hedges. Supersport race was lashing down, Superstock was lashing down, and to see everybody still hanging out there to watch good racing and to be there to the very end was awesome to see. And you know, obviously we'll be in tomorrow, everybody will be out, there'll be more crowds I would think, and just get those programmes waving. If I'm in the lead coming on towards the end of the race or the last lap, I want to see them programmes waving. Egg me on. I'm sure Glenn Irwin said that too, but I probably said it before him, before he came here.
I must say you're probably in group, but Steve's going to ask you a question because I'm going to get these two t-shirts which you kindly gave us, because we have two winners in the audience. If you have the full colour spread of Alastair, there are two vouchers there, aren't there? I don't know if we have the two winners, do we? The wee stickers, if you have a sticker in your programme on Alastair's full two-page shed, come on up. It means you're going to get one of these here. This man's going to... I tell you what, do you want to come up and round, come on onto the stage and get it off? You don't? What, are you on the dole or something? You doing the double? What the hell's going on here? Hey, here, you going to throw that man. Listen, there he is there. Hey, I tell you, hey, where are you from, or boy? Where? Hey, double check that programme there, will you? Here, come on over here and throw it over to Alastair. First of all, do we have another second? Well done, sir. Thanks very much. And very much appreciate for buying the programme, because the programme is the lifeblood of our event. And is there another one? We need a sticker in the middle with a double spread of Alastair's photograph. There must be somebody.
Sunshine 27. Which bike's it going to be? Your 27th win. What's the favourite?
See, to be honest, the Supersport and the Superstock bike are feeling really good, and obviously going off the back of Superbike qualifying, I've made the executive decision to park the Superbike.
Really?
So it's just, it seems too much of a handful at the minute, and the lap times aren't being produced, and I feel like if I override it, and you don't want to do that around places like this, that I might get myself in a bit of a predicament. So the Superstock bike, I went straight out and went 4 seconds faster. So it's pretty much the Superstock bike will be getting wheeled out for the Superbike races. And so yeah, I feel pretty good. I might be down a little bit of speed, but you know me, I'll just hang in there. 600 feels quite good, and as I say, you know, I've been in England for a number of years on that class. Size and speed, or size of the bike, sort of suits me. I've been around the mill on it, but you know, there's a lot of good 600 riders out there. Lee Johnston's coming off the back of lap record at Oldham Park, riding very well, podiums every weekend, so he'll be in the mix.